Hey guys, it's SJ. I hope you're well. Welcome around to my house. My name's SJ. I'm a mum of 3 and I do lots of videos on positive parenting, positive discipline, which is all a different kind of style of parenting basically that helps you to think of issues in a tiny little bit of a different way, which can sometimes solve big battles and has in my experience. And one of those is fussy eating. There's so many books out there about fussy eating and videos and tips and stuff like that, but hopefully this is 5 really good different ways of doing it through positive discipline that have really helped me with my children. My middle child has allergies and that's kind of turned into some sort of food like aversions as well. So it's been quite tricky and quite emotional and socially awkward at times when you're visiting like family or you're traveling. So yeah, these are 5 ways that we've really combated it really gently. If you're brand new, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and say hello below. There's loads of other positive discipline videos all about tantrums, potty training, how to stop being a shouty mum, and tons of stuff in the comments I'll link in the description box. And yeah, let's get on with the tips. So my first one is to helping yourself reframe it in your mind, not thinking about it as this problem, I've got to stop, I've got this fussy eater, and stopping fussy eating because it can make meal times really tense and unenjoyable, and start thinking of this as a slow thing that you're going to do, which is to teach them to enjoy food, teach them a love of food. And I think that change is really important. So if you think about it from like, we used to sort of go like, homework and teach and discipline and drill it in, to enjoy reading. And I think that shift can be done for food. And I think that we have to take a different approach than we had when we were younger. There was kind of one style of parenting which was authoritarian. You stay there till you finished your dinner and you eat all your vegetables, and we were really drilled that into our generation. But you think about how many food issues we have now, and I think changing that to thinking of this as not overcoming fussy eating as more as encouraging a love and enjoyment of food is a really good first kind of reshift in your mind. Second one is the huge one, and that is to remove any kind of reward or punishment around the dinner table associated with their food and their eating. I did this so much, and sometimes I've noticed it as soon as I started to realise that sometimes before they've even had a chance, a plate will be put down in front of them and it'll be, and if you don't finish that, you won't be getting pudding, or I don't want the same weight as I had yesterday, I don't want to be throwing this all away, and I know you don't like this, but you've got to eat it all up because that's all there is and there's nothing else. And we sort of threaten before they've really had a chance, because we're anxious, not because we're mean. Or we do the emotional thing, which is, Mummy's worked really hard on this meal and I'd be really upset if you don't eat it. Then that's just basically emotional kind of blackmail. That's the one I've definitely said that before. And I was thinking, if I go to a restaurant and this whole thing about love of food and I've ordered something, they put it down in front of me and I'm not, maybe I love the look of it or I'm not sure, but whatever, if the waiter said to me, and if you don't eat all of that, chef says you're not going to be getting any pudding, and yes, you have to try that bit on the side that you're not sure of, or you have to get out, something like that, go to your room, I'd be like, oh my god, I haven't even had the chance, but it's going to take away any pleasure or enjoyment of that meal, and every time I go back to that same table, I'm going to feel stressed and worried. So just thinking about it that way, I do it, 100% I do it, I've done it, still do it. This is stuff that I'm practicing so much, but I've really tried to strip it out of my vocabulary, and it's made a world of difference. Our dinner times are so much easier and stress-free. Third one that you'll read a lot is about meal planning together, getting them involved in the cooking, and that just depends on your child. Like at the moment, my children aren't that interested. Like Finn's probably the age where he would be because he's the middle and he's 6, but he's got the allergies and aversions. My eldest son is getting back into cooking quite a lot. He's quite enjoying it. But what we do is when I'm meal planning for the week, I say to each of them, pick a dinner for the week, and they can pick their own favourite meal. And so when I serve it and I say tonight's dinner is going to be meatballs because that's Finn's favourite dinner, they'll all be a bit more invested because it's one of their siblings' favourite ones, and they'll want to really enjoy it. And the one whose dinner it is gets really excited and kind of brings up the mood and excitement for the meal. So it's a really take it, you don't have to think, oh, they have to be like up there, peeling the carrots with me if that's not their interest. It can just be pick their favourite meal. Fourth one is so important again, and it's use positive language. So many times the fussy eating becomes an issue when you're outside of the house, when you're on a play date, when you're at in-laws house or anywhere in a restaurant, and often we say, I'm so sorry, he's so fussy, it's such a nightmare, eats hardly anything, and we'll say that in front of our children. And of course that just goes into their mind and they think that they like beige food because they've heard us say it and affirm it to other adults. So it's kind of important just to think about how do we deal with those situations. And what I've done in the past is I'll bring the kids food, so we don't have that kind of awkwardness of, you know, them having to try something new in a new house where they might be a bit nervous. To take their favourite food, then we'll say something really more positive, like Finn's bought all his favourites, but we're really excited to see what you like to eat, and maybe that'll make it onto our favourite list as well. So kind of opening up the conversation around favourites, and I have always had the conversation with my children that we all like different things to eat, mainly because I'm vegetarian and my husband isn't. I don't eat meat, I don't cook meat, but they have meat, so we've always had to have an openness around some people like things, some people don't. And I think that that's a good thing to learn, and I've heard them say that back to other children who were like, why don't you try this? And they've said, you know, we all like different things, and it also gives them the tools to deal with their own likes and dislikes and their right to say no, but it gives them a more positive chance by saying, you know, you've got all your favourites, you know, you do love food, you enjoy food, these are your favourite things, but you might want to add something else to your list. And the fifth one was huge for me. I had to do this last year, revolutionise how I did my meals, because with a 10-year-old, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, it was figuring out the portions and giving successful portions. So my 10-year-old eats super fast, then my 3-year-old would be there forever, and it was because I was almost not sizing it up. So he needs a much bigger portion, big plate, adult portion. She needs a small, successful toddler portion. And one of them might like a vegetable, so they'll have a lot of it. One of them might not like that as much, they'll have a smaller amount. So you can play around with it, and family serve is the best way of doing it. So putting all the food in the middle and allowing them to choose. And sometimes they go, I just want one sausage and one carrot. That is okay. Like, keep that okayness with that sort of choice, because then they'll have a successful meal where they've enjoyed their meal, they've eaten on their terms, and next time they might start to try a little bit more. So family serve is a really, really good way of doing that. And as I said, just set them up for success as much as you can. The more wins they have under their belt, you will be smiling at dinner time, they will be as well, and it will go much smoother. So those are 5 tips. I hope there's something different and interesting in there. If you do have a fussy eater or dealing with fussy meal times, you know, it is hard, it is difficult. Distraction's a great one. We play I Spy, I read them books during dinner. Anything you can do to set them up for success, and using the positive language, I think, is going to really, really help. Let me know any more tips you have in the comment section below. It's really good to help each other out. I'm sure you've got tons of ways that have worked for you and your family that we've never thought of, so it's always good to help another mum out and share your experiences. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you are brand new and you've watched this all the way through. Then do consider hitting subscribe so you don't miss any more positive parenting videos coming up, and as I said, all the previous ones will be linked below, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye guys.